Okay, I know it's been almost 3 years since I promised to share this story, and I'm sorry that it took me so long, but better late than never, right? So today I will share the story of how I was able to get my first Birkin from the boutique. And here she is. She will be sitting pretty over here for the purpose of today's video. And the truth is that I was reluctant to share this story before because I got very, very lucky. And I felt ashamed. I felt like I didn't deserve it, which is crazy because it's a bag. It's a very beautiful bag, but it's a material thing. And it's crazy that a material thing was able to make me feel that happy and ashamed at the same time. And that's mainly because it's so hard to get. And I know that there are people that have spent so much money and that have waited years to be able to get it from the boutique. So I really, truly didn't want for anyone to feel bad when they heard my story. And what's worth mentioning is that I'm certain that if I was surrounded by the same circumstances now, I wouldn't have been able to get it. So this is really quite a story. It's a story about luck, it's a story about coincidences, and I don't know how useful it's going to be to anyone, but maybe it'll make like a good bedtime story, or maybe it'll give you hope if you're still hoping to get that first bag from the boutique. Maybe it'll give you some hope that sometimes miracles do happen. So I'm gonna tell you everything. I'm going to tell you everything I bought. I'm going to share the timeline. I'm bearing it all today. So let's start. So I moved to Spain in the spring of 2021, and I had previously never bought anything directly from an Hermes boutique before, ever in any of their locations. But that summer, I wanted to get myself a new pair of sandals, and I thought that the timeless classic Oran sandals would be perfect. And they were, they still are. I still have them, I still love them. And at the time, I had just moved to another country. So money was literally running through my fingers, which is why I didn't even think about asking about quota bags. Like, of course, it was in the back of my mind because it's a bag that I had always wanted as a luxury handbag lover. But I knew that like you have to put in so much work to be able to get one offered, and I wasn't ready for that. So I just bought my sandals and happily left the store. Then around September, October, my life had more or less stabilized. So I decided to treat myself with a new pair of boots. And I was interested in two pairs of boots by Hermes, the jumping boots, and another pair that I can't remember the name of, but basically they looked nearly identical to the jumping boots, but the main difference was that they had a small heel and gold hardware. At the time, I was very fixed on gold hardware, but the jumping boots were only available with silver hardware, so it was kind of stopping me from getting the jumping boots. But unfortunately, they didn't have them available at the boutique, so my lovely essay, which by the way is the first Easter egg, is the first coincidence, it was the same essay that sold me the Oran sandals in the summer. And that's already a very big coincidence. And I think it was a very big sign because usually the boutique would be full and you would get who you get. It's not like you can choose, or you would have to wait a very long time. And I just walked in the boutique and there he was. It was like a sign, that something good may happen. But anyway, so he kindly offered to order the other pair of boots with the gold hardware for me and keep the jumping boots on hold. I was so grateful to him and I was so happy. So, in all that boot excitement, I guess I finally gathered the courage to ask him about the quota bags. What is the system? And he told me that they operate with a wish list system. So basically, you have to put the exact specifications of the bag that you're looking for, and the wish list will last either 9 months or 2 weeks, depending if you're a local or not. And at the time, I wasn't a local because I mean, the bureaucracy here, it's something else. So my wish list was only going to last 2 weeks. I mean, I still made it. I told them that I would love to have a black Togo leather Birkin 25 with gold hardware, But I made that wish list fully knowing that it would never come true, because at the time I had only purchased a pair of Oran sandals, nothing else, not even the boots, because I was still waiting for them to come. But still, I left the store happy because I knew how the system works. I knew that after I get my ID, I will be able to make a wish list that's going to last 9 months, which is very nice. It's going to give me time to build my, purchase history and everything. So I left the store happy. I was also excited that I'm going to get my boots, because where I used to live before, I wasn't able to do any shopping from Hermes, so I was still happy. And then something like 10 days later, he messaged me that unfortunately they still had not received the boots yet, but he was still keeping the jumping boots for me on hold, which was something that I was very grateful for. So I just said, like, it's okay, no worries. And then, like 2 or 3 days later, on the day when my wish list was going to expire, you're not going to believe it. He sent me a bag offer. When I tell you my jaw dropped, it's an understatement, okay? And now let me tell you the bag that I was offered: a black Birkin 25, gold hardware, ostrich leather. What? What? What just happened? And as much, like, it's not like I hate ostrich leather, but that bag was not it. Like, I really wanted toggle leather. I wanted something more casual than ostrich leather, because that leather is, it's very, like, it's much more dressy than togo. And then I had to figure out, how am I going to say no to a bag that was offered to me after buying one pair of Orhan sandals something like 3 or 4 months ago. I was editing that rejection message for, I kid you not, probably like an hour, fully knowing that no matter what I was going to say, they will never ever offer me another bag ever again. But in my gut, it just didn't feel right. So I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew that it was my dream bag and I wasn't going to settle. So at that point, my wish list had expired, and I didn't think about going to make a new one, because I didn't want to go every 2 weeks to renew the wish list. I thought, I'm just going to get my Spanish ID, local ID, and then when I get it, I'm going to go to the boutique once again and make a new wish list, which is then going to last 9 months. But then after the weekend, my SA messaged me that the boots had finally arrived. So I went to try them on, and they looked completely different than I expected. So in the end, I decided to buy the jumping boots, and I'm so glad that I did, because they become a staple in my fall winter wardrobe. And then he asked me if there was anything else that I was interested in, like they usually do. And I just said, no, I'm very happy with my boots. And then I don't remember exactly how we ended up talking about the wishlist system again, but I ended up renewing my wishlist for 2 more weeks. Again, the exact same specifications, and again, zero expectations. And now starts the crazy part of the story, because then 1 or 2 days later, on Friday night, I had dinner plans with my husband. And the restaurant was in the area where there are all the luxury boutiques. And so for some reason, we were there already earlier, and I decided to go into Chanel to just do some browsing, see what's new. And of course, me being me, I found a bag that I really, really liked. It was like this black tweed seasonal flap bag, and it was super cute. But at the time, I really wanted to get a Chanel Classic flap, because that was the time that there were all the crazy Chanel Classic Flap price increases, and I really wanted to get one before there was yet another Chanel price increase. So I'm pretty sure that I was already on a wish list to get one. And I was, of course, also on a wish list to get a Birkin. And in the best case scenario, if I were to receive a classic flap and a Birkin, and I would already buy this tweed bag, I wouldn't be able to afford all of them, because let's remember, again, I had just moved to a new country, and it's a lot of expensive handbags in the same month. So I didn't want to, cross that line. So I decided not to get it, not to get the seasonal tweed flap bag. But then I got home after the dinner and I just could not stop thinking about it. So I was talking about this to my husband, like, what are the chances that they're going to give me a Birkin? They are not going to give me a Birkin. Like, there's just no way. So why should I miss out on this beautiful tweed handbag? Because I can afford two bags. At the time, I was able to buy two bags, but not more than two bags. So I could buy this tweed handbag and then I could buy the Chanel Classic Flap later on, because eventually that one was going to come. There wasn't so much uncertainty around a Chanel Classic Flap as there was around the Birkin. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm just going to go and I'm just going to buy the tweed flap bag. And that's exactly what I did. The next day, I went to Chanel and I bought it and I got home and I was joking with my husband, like, haha, imagine if now they're going to offer me a Birkin, like, haha, what are the chances? And then guess what? Guess what? Monday. Monday. They messaged me, my SA messaged me with this handbag, a Birkin 25, black Togo leather with rose gold hardware, so even more special than yellow gold. I could I couldn't believe it. I honestly, when I'm telling this story now, it sounds unbelievable because we were even joking about it, you know. And I said that it's not going to happen. And I told him, like, it's impossible. And then it happened. And I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy because if I had just gotten the jumping boots, you know, in the first place, I would have never renewed my wish list and I would have missed out on this handbag. It's just crazy. And the fact that it was the same essay and he was so nice to me, you know. So I think what matters, what we can take from this story is that a good essay that really wants to, you know, help you matters the most in all of this, in trying to get an Hermes quota bag. So that's my story. That's how I got this bag. And then after it all happened in the summer of 2022, I was offered another Birkin bag, which I am so grateful for and I was so happy about because it was another one of my absolute dream bags. And ever since then, I have been trying to get a Kelly because a Kelly for me is it's really the last bag that is missing from my ultimate holy grail handbag dream wish list, you know. But so far, nothing. And I don't blame them because I haven't been an active shopper. And I think that things have changed. It's not enough just to be on a wish list anymore. I think that you do have to shop. And last year, I literally bought, I think, two things at the boutique. I did buy some other things online, but I don't think that it counts together because if I shop online, my essay, he doesn't get anything from it, you know. So I am not giving my essay any incentive to offer me a bag. Now that I do have a local Spanish ID, my wish lists last 9 months, and I think I've gone through two wish lists for a Kelly. That makes sense. And the last one expired in December of last year. So now it's April, and I haven't gone to the store to make a new one. So yeah, I kind of gave up. I don't see the point because I'm not shopping as much, but maybe one day, who knows? Maybe one day it would happen. Maybe it won't. Either way, I am grateful for everything that I already have. If it happens, great. If it won't, then maybe in some other way. Maybe one day through the pre-loved market, you know. Who knows? But overall, I'm still positive, I'm still happy, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Laine, and if you do enjoy this type of videos or talking about luxury, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And now, once again, thank you and stay safe, everyone. I hope I'll see you soon.